Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Now, this is a slight departure from the norm. And, well, the news broke this morning in the UK about the actor, British actor, Julian Sands, age 65, a room with a view, arachnophobia, warlock. Come on now. Phantom of the Opera, for Dario Argento. Not a good move on his behalf, but loads of other movies and TV shows like Smallville and 24 has gone missing. In the mountains in California. He's 65 years old. He's the father of 3 kids. He lives in LA. He's from Yorkshire. He's a Yorkshire lad. And he's a keen mountaineer and adventurer. Always has been. Never happiest than when he's approaching the summit on a cold morning. Well, he's gone missing in the mountains in California. Baldy Mountain, it's called. Baldy Mountain in the Baldy Bowl area. And this is the San Gabriel Mountain Range. This is just north of LA. And he knows this route. He's been there before. And he went out on Friday the 13th. And never came back. So his wife, who is a writer, award-winning writer, I cannot pronounce her name. Let me just check it. Evgenia Sikowitz, I think, raised the alarm, and the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department went out there, and they were hampered by bad weather. Now this is the thing, the bad weather, he went out in bad weather, but on a mountain that he knew and he's experienced. But even so, even the wisest and the most experienced of mountaineers can come a serious cropper when the weather comes down. But you should have all your survival gear with you. You've got enough equipment to last, for a few days. You can camp, you've got change of clothes, you've got really warm clothes, and you've got loads of food and water. Now, I don't know what equipment he had. I don't know how well equipped he set out. But I would presume, with his experience, he's been in the Andes, he's been in South America, he's been in South Africa, he's been everywhere on mountains and, doing lots of trekking and all that kind of stuff. So he knows the ropes. They couldn't find him. The Sheriff's Department goes out, search and rescue goes out. They can't find him, no trace. They are hampered by even worse bad weather coming in. Now, California has been buffeted recently by really, really bad weather, storms and all sorts. And up in the higher ranges, really sub-zero temperatures and freezing wind and blizzards and avalanches, which is what drove back the search and rescue. But it's now almost 7 days. It only got reported today as breaking news that Julian Sands had gone missing. Now, so he went missing Friday the 13th. So the time of this recording, it's only 6 days, but tomorrow it'll be 7 days. The chances right now of finding this guy alive, I hate to say it, but it's pretty remote, given the area that he's in and how hampered they've been by severe temperature drops and howling winds and snow and blizzards. How is he gonna last? Now, the reason why I mention this is it's a movie star, and I'll be honest, I am guilty of having labelled Julian Sands as being wooden and terrible. But I don't wish harm on anyone like this at all. And over the last sort of few years, I've read more about him and seen him in more things. And you know what? He ain't that bad. He has a particular style, I'll give him that. And it might not be to everyone's sort of cup of tea. But the Killing Field, he's great in the Killing Fields as well. He's in many, many movies. He's wonderful in Arachnophobia, wonderful in Warlock, And as I say, I don't wish harm on anyone. But I'm a massive follower of David Paulides and the Missing 411 phenomenon. And I've talked about it before. I've mentioned it in passing. And a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. And because we've spoken about it, but a lot of you probably know already because you're into this sort of thing as well. And David Paulides, who lives up in Montana, is a wonderful researcher, investigator. He served SWAT teams, he's a private investigator, he's done loads of things, he's been everywhere. And he researches people going missing in national parks. Initially, it was American national parks. And he noticed that there was certain elements which were similar to all these disappearances. Someone who got a physical impediment, bad weather, a point of separation, huge bodies of water nearby. Perhaps this is the new thing, UFO activity in that area. A cluster, other people have gone missing and never found at all. The dogs, the canine teams that go in can't find a scent anywhere. It's like these people have just completely vanished off the face of the earth. Now, I've been following this for a good few years now. David Paulides has written many books on this, and he's done a few documentaries, and he's appeared on many other shows and documentaries and things. And he's got his own YouTube channel. I do urge you to go and look at it. It's called the Can-Am Missing Project. Can as in Canada, Am as in America. Can-Am Missing. Just put David Paulides in. You'll find him anyway. It's Paul and then I-D-E-S. Paulides. Big plug out to my mate Dave there. He's got no idea who I am. But the second I saw this, I thought, oh my God. Are we now going to get someone who's genuinely sort of high profile, who's gone missing under bizarre circumstances? I'm not saying it's the same. As Dave Paulides himself would totally confirm, a lot more time's got to go by. There's a lot more things. It's got to fit the pro forma, the template of these other missing people, because people go missing all the time. The vast majority of them are found by search and rescue teams, very often dead at the foot of a cliff, or they got trapped in a river, they broke their leg and they've died because of hypothermia, or the elements just taking them down, or it's been wildlife predation, or it's been foul play of a humankind, or it's been suicide. This sort of thing happens a lot, but they get found. So he doesn't look at any of those. He knows what the certain criteria are, and it fits the bill. And that going back hundreds of years, so many of these bizarre disappearances. Sometimes the victims are found, but they're in a place which has been searched many times, over and over again in the search patterns, and then suddenly weeks later they're found in a place where we've searched there. How the hell did they suddenly get back there? And they're dead. Sometimes they're alive, but with no memory of what's happened. I know there's a lot to this, and you need to look into it. But I've barely even scratched the surface of this mysterious phenomena. And it isn't just North America and Canada and their national parks. It's Australia, it's Africa, it's all over Europe, it's in the UK as well. So, and as people go missing in cities and end up in lakes and canals, but under mysterious circumstances where there's no injuries, there's no reason why they should be in there, and they weren't even anywhere near that body of water from the moment they went missing. What happened? The mystery is supreme. So obviously when I saw this breaking news about Julian Sands, I thought, missing in a mountain range in California, a cluster zone, and they can't find anything. At the moment, because the weather's so bad, they're using helicopters and drones, but they hope to, once the weather subsides, to get teams, actual, ground pounders, get back up there and start searching properly. But it's almost a week. Would he have taken that amount of supplies and for that bad weather? Oh God, it's weird, folks, because I love mysteries. I love the Bermuda Triangle. I love ghosts and aliens and UFOs. I love all of this. And I love, the mysteries of, mysterious murders and Jack the Ripper. And although it gives you a frisson of excitement when you read about it and you watch documentaries and you talk about it and you make your own sort of suppositions and hypotheses, but I don't wish anyone to go through any ordeal. I genuinely don't. And because I know who this guy is, there's plenty of people who go missing all the time, and the vast majority are found safe and well. The overwhelming majority are found. But even the ones who aren't safe and well, their bodies are still found and recovered. But you get these cases where they just disappear. I'm not saying he's disappeared. He may yet be found. He may yet be alive. Please, God, let's hope he's alive. But get a good film out of it, at the very least. But I do find these things incredibly emotive and dead strange. If you're a guy that, or a gal that knows the mountains and travels out and is adventurous, you don't take risks. You know what the risks are and you're prepared for them. So you don't take stupid ones. You've got the supplies, you've got the equipment, you've probably got a weapon as well. If you're going out in the mountains in America, you need to have a firearm there. There's lots of things which could come for you. Mountain lions, grizzly bears, other things as well. You need to be able to defend yourself. I don't know if he was armed, I have no idea. But I would presume that he would have something, at the very least, bear spray or whatever, but a weapon of some description to protect himself. Because he's on his own as well, he's on his own. But an adventurous sort goes out there, knows what the risks are, knows he could fall. Did he have a transponder? Did he have GPS? Did he have any kind of sort of radio signal which he can give away to rescuers? Clearly not, because they haven't found him. If he had, a radio transponder, a satellite transponder, they'd know exactly where he is, or at least where the transponder is. And they haven't found him. So as I say, they're only using at the moment helicopters and drones. Helicopters will be using flare, so they'll be looking for heat signals and heat registers. But in the last, 4 weeks, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department said, in the last 4 weeks, they've lost two other people who've been found, but dead, at the bottom of a cliff, bottom of a ravine. I think one woman slid 500 feet down a ravine and obviously died. So it can be a treacherous place. Mountains are always going to be treacherous, especially when the weather comes in. And you get people who, I know those trails like the back of my hand. But, as David Paulides says, many of these still go missing. No trace. Dogs can't find them. Dogs can't even pick up a trace. There's nothing. You might find an item of clothing or a backpack or a rifle, but they're not going to find the person. And if they do find anything, it's way off. It's literally dozens of miles away from where they were going, where they were last seen. And it's also through impenetrable wilderness. How the hell would they have got their stuff got to there? Folks, I do urge you to have a look at this missing 411 sort of phenomenon. David Paulides' stuff is it's engrossing, and it will really get you going. It will fuel your imagination. And as I say, he's done some great documentaries, and he's also a big researcher for Bigfoot as well, Sasquatch. And his stuff is he lectures, he talks, he goes all around the North America certainly, and he's been to Australia a few times. I think he broke his leg in Australia. Clumsy bugger, Watch out for them didgeridoos. They don't have to trip you up, And but he is a great raconteur and just a lovely sort of fatherly figure. And when he tells you these stories, it's just the facts, man. It's just the facts. He never will give you what he thinks is happening. He may insinuate things, but he doesn't tell you. He just, because he won't set himself up for a fall or to be ridiculed. I'll just give you the facts, and I've researched and I've interviewed these people. I've been out to the locations. He travels a hell of a lot, and I really, really do admire this. And I find it really fascinating. It's one of the newer mysteries in the world today. But it's not just a mystery; it's a danger. It does seem to be a dangerous thing, and there's lots of hints and allegations and perhaps suspicions about the real purpose of national parks and why they're governed by federal agencies. Anyway, but Julian Sands, I feel a bit horrible making the connection between, this guy going missing and the missing 411. I'm not saying it's the same thing. I'm no expert, but immediately when this happened, I thought, oh my God, they can't find him. It's unusual not to find someone, especially within that window, that 6 to 7 days. What? You haven't found him? He's only on a mountain. It's one mountain. It's Baldy Mountain. There's nowhere for him to go. There's trails up that mountain. Where could he possibly have gone? Avalanches, blizzards, yes, can cover a hell of a lot, and it's snow-capped, and it is completely whited out at the moment. So yeah, he could be anywhere, but just thought I'd mention this because I want to draw attention to this whole thing about people going missing and how it often gets brushed under the carpet, and it's taken people like David Paulides to actually really lift that carpet up and rake out all of that information, and then go scouring for more, interviewing the search and rescue teams, interviewing the sheriff's department, paramedics, all of this, getting more information and uncovering something which is really, really frightening. So folks, please do be careful out there. Really, I mean it. It's a big, bad, dangerous world. And perhaps not for all the reasons that you think. It ain't just gangs and criminals, murderers and rapists and serial killers. There's a lot more under these skies than meets the eye. But yeah, I hope you all join me in wishing that we get a successful and optimistic outcome for Julian Sands and his family, because it must be a deplorably frightening time to have someone who's out there and you feel helpless. His family must want to go out there, and this is what happens a lot. Families recruit people and start funding their own searches, even years after their loved one's gone missing, because the authorities have gone, well, in all reality, they have to draw a line at some point. They do. But I think in this particular case, if your search has been hampered by bad weather, for the safety of your own search and rescue team members, which is obvious, of course, you must resume as soon as that weather lets up and you can get back out there again. And you've still got to give it that proper, amount of time. So anyway, Julian Sands, come back home, mate. Come on. Please, in the meantime, in this ever mysterious and, dangerous, weird in-between time, please keep it Celtic, keep it Celtic. Keep GPS, keep a transponder, keep a gun at your side. Obviously, if you're in the UK, you can't do that. And we have mountains here and mountain ranges. We have moorlands, we have forests. And people go missing in the UK a hell of a lot. Hell of a lot. It doesn't always get reported on. Or if it does, it's quickly forgotten about. No trace, just gone. And then it's not news anymore. But people like David Paulides, he's like a bulldog. He's tenacious. I'm not going to let this go. I'm going to keep on plugging away, ripping at this, ripping at that, asking you, making questions of you, going to the authorities, demanding information. And he's put himself in a lot of jeopardy as well. And I admire people that have a quest and have a sort of, he's had vocations, SWAT team, police, an investigator. You know, so he's had that vocation, but now this is his thing, his baby, and he's going with this, and I love him for it. So I implore you guys to check it out. Whatever you may go, oh, what a load of shite. I don't believe any of this. People go missing all the time. You can walk out your front door and never be seen again. Yeah, you can. That's the point. But you should be found. If people go off the map, gone. They've gone up, they've gone down, they've gone sideways, and they've just imploded. Where have they gone? There's a lot more to this. And I'll probably talk more about it as well, because I do find this fascinating. And I hope I'll be back tomorrow with a little recap and say they found Julian Sands and he's alive and well. Just a little bit cold, but he's going to be all right. So it's just, it just struck me. That's an odd one, and he's not the person. I only found out that he was a big adventurer and explorer because of this. I would never have put him down as that. And if you look at Arachnophobia, that's what he is. He's a trailblazer, and he's a spider specialist, but he goes out to the forest, the rainforest, and all that. He knows his stuff. He's not afraid of anything until he meets Big Bob, of course, in Arachnophobia. Anyway, folks, send me peace now. Please keep it Celtic, and I'm going to see you all. And for those of you who are still in the throes of the Cobra coverage, Stallone's Cobra coverage, and I'm playing Stallone's cliffhanger score right here by Trevor Jones. Fantastic. The watch-along party for Cobra is coming in the next 24 hours. So get your copies of Cobra, bung them in, and when you see the video come on, when I go, press play. 1, 2, 3. We'll be there. So folks, please be happy, be safe, and just watch your step.